Hello everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75. Welcome to another Transformers third party review. This time I am doing my first Warbotron Whirlwind. I can't remember the actual designation that he's got. Oh yeah, it's WB01D. Obviously this isn't the first figure that came out, but it's the first figure I am reviewing of the Warbotron Bruticus, or their version of Bruticus anyway. Why is it the first one? It's because I bought the other three, and this one, I've obviously got the latest one, and the other three are just up in the loft at the moment, and this is the only one I've got down. I do have Onslaught on the way. I'm hoping that is either going to come today or tomorrow, so that should be pretty cool, and I'll be able to make Bruticus. I am going to try and do all of the third-party combiners, which I've been buying over the last year or two, kind of like the Mastermind Creations, Predaking and what have you, and the Abominus one by Unique Toys, and obviously the Fans Project Menasor. Yeah, I do have them somewhere. I've got them out ready to do a review. Can't get my words out. Reviews on, but we shall get round to them sometime, probably over the next 5 years, knowing me. Still, there we go. Anyway, let's get back to the toy in hand. This is, like I said, the Warbotron Whirlwind. Let me bring the box in there. The boxes aren't... Well, actually, no, they are pretty cool. I love the boxes. They're very sturdy, heavy. It does come with an outer box that slides over this. For some reason, right now, my one has decided to fall apart on me, but there we go. Other than that, the boxes are okay. I wouldn't say they're like going to blow me away or nothing, but they're really sturdily well made and everything. Right, anyway, so we come on to the toy. This is obviously, who is it who makes it now? Warbotron. I don't know the actual toy makers. I'm a bit rubbish in that respect. But this is their version of VORTEX, so I probably will refer to him as VORTEX throughout. It's a good helicopter mode. Though, when I did get this, I immediately noticed that there's a couple of minor issues I have with this. Most notably, you're not going to probably be able to notice it, but on my one, this canopy on the front here doesn't just sit. I mean, I did put the Decepticon logo there. I quite like it on the windshield there. It doesn't just sit quite happily on one side, and then it makes everything else just slightly off. I can't exactly tell where. It's probably one of these pins that are put through just slightly at the wrong angle maybe, or a screws out of alignment. Probably something like that. If I can find it, I'll be able to rectify it. But at the moment, I haven't been able to put my finger on exactly where that is. Anyway, that was one of the minor, that's a very minor quibble. My other issue is at the back here. Now, I don't like this. I don't understand why you've got these two bits here. I mean, maybe the actual helicopter this is taken from has it like that, but I don't think it does. I've never seen a helicopter like that. Now, the other thing that really does annoy me is that when you spin the rotor blades, it is just going to hit this rotor blade at the back. For me, that's just annoying because I do like spinning the rotor blades, and why you would do that, I ain't got a clue. You know, and it could have been easily rectified, you know, just moving this back, you know, where you can see the moulded parts where they fit into just here. Just move it back, like about what, about 5mm, 10mm. I can't see a problem, really. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's another thing, these weapons do like to fall off. Somehow, I don't know how, or just move the bloody rotor blade from the front here to the back. You know, if it's not a exact representation of a helicopter, who's going to care? I ain't, and it would have just looked a lot better. Still, there we go. Anyway, that's my minor nitpickings over with, other than the weapons that just won't stay on these things. I mean, they stay on, but they just have a habit, as soon as you want to do something, they just pop off. Anyway, that said, it is an amazing helicopter. I do like it. Look at that. I love the gun on the front. I think it's a brilliant helicopter. And it's nice and big. It's a good chunky Voyager sized. Probably if you'd have gone back in time, this would have been like an ultra sized toy. I think it's good. You can take these rotor blades out and they become swords. I'm not big on doing that. Right, anyway, I've got my instructions here to aid me transforming this, because I've transformed it once into helicopter mode when I was intending to do a review on it about 3 or 4 months ago, whenever it came out. I just didn't get the time, unfortunately. So I transformed it into helicopter mode in the intention of doing the review pretty much as soon as I'd done that, but something happened, I can't remember what now, but there we go. So anyway, so we're going to start now. We are going to start by, I'm going to take these weapons off because these will just come off, and then we can do something with those a bit later on. Put those over to there, to the side. The next thing is you just disconnect this, which is going to become his handheld weapon. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'd have preferred if it had just been the front gun and they could have done more with it, but I ain't going to complain too much. And then what are we going to do? Looking at my instructions now. We are going to come around here to these side panels. We're just going to rotate these out to the side and then bring them down. They're obviously going to become the robot arms. Then what we're going to do next, done that bit, then we're going to fold these tail fins, I suppose that's what they are. We're going to fold them up into that position. Then we are going to split the main tail fin at the centre. That is going to come apart. Oh, there we go. That is going to come apart. Oh yeah, one noticeable thing, a notable thing even. When I got my one, they'd put these on the wrong way round. I can't remember exactly how they'd managed to do that. It didn't involve me taking them out of this. I mean, they just pop out of this joint, luckily, so it wasn't a major issue. But when I was looking at the instructions how to transform it, that obviously you don't notice things like that, and you expect them to be put together right. You know, that did flummox me a little because I was thinking, hang on, what's going on here? So anyway, then what we're going to do, we are then going to come around here, and I like this bit. I just got to remember how to get it out. As you can see, it's on a hinge just here. You're just going to pull this out. If I can remember how to. Do I have to lift up this first? Yeah, there we go. It's just sort of tabbed in as well. It doesn't say to do that in the instructions, but then again, it only has it going from robot to helicopter, not the other way around. So you're going to bring these back round here. I can't remember if these tab in or not. Not really. So again, just bring this round. It sort of just fits in around there. Then what we're going to do with this? Should we done that? La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Right, then we're going to rotate these around, and then these, you can't really do that yet. So what's this saying there for? See, this is where it's... yes, I know exactly what I've done wrong here. There we go. See, this is the thing about transforming it like about 3 years ago and then forgetting. If I split these legs slightly, I think that might be a bit easier. It's on a rotational joint just there, and then we rotate this one back around. Not totally sure the point of that, but it's there, and it does aid it, I suppose. It's given his little heel spur. That makes a lot more sense, and then we can bring this back a bit. I suppose it probably fits back in a little easier. Maybe. Does that want to go down there now? Ah, there we go. See, and then that. See, there you go. See, it now fits into there a lot more snug once you get it past that. It just sort of tucks in there, and it actually matches up really well. Look at that. That's actually pretty damn cool. I do like that. Anyway, yeah, so that made a lot more sense, didn't it? And then we're going to come around, and then we're going to rotate it this way, and then fold this up towards the leg like that. I assume I've got this around the right way. And that just sort of like hangs around. Hoping I've done it the right way. We'll soon find out, won't we, eh? Yeah, well, it looks like the instructions. That's what the instructions are telling me anyway. So then we end up with this here. Then what do we want to do? We need to rotate something around here now. I can't remember which bit rotates. So I figured this out. Yeah, you just sort of put your finger there on the back of the hip, and then put your thumb here. And that just dislodges it. It's nicely tabbed in, and so then that allows you now to rotate. I'm just going to adjust my camera ever so slightly. There we go, just so we got this in. And then you're just going to rotate this up and around. That brings his body into alignment, and then that leaves you there. Using my instructions, then what we're going to do, we are going to then get this whole back section around here. I think it's supposed to come down and around. Right, so it's on a double hinge joint, and it's got two just little things that are just going to tab in there like that. Bring that down. That's going to cover that hole up in the back there. And that is basically Whirlwind almost done. If you can get these bloody leg bits just to stay in. That is the only problem with this. Anyway, yes, and the other thing is then you just bring this whole canopy section down. Something like that. Is that how it does it? Yeah, it's sort of, I thought it did tab in, but maybe it doesn't. It sort of just hangs around and close that up. Then we're going to rotate his head around. And then we're going to bring these arms down, rotate his hand out, like so. There's his hand, and this just collapses into there like that, taking the bad look off his forearms. And there we go. and that is, and then he hasn't got a specific ankle tilt, but you can tilt the feet, and then you use them, and then that just sort of like collapses in. These little bits on his legs are always going to move, unfortunately. But you want my opinion? That is a great looking whirlwind, if you want my opinion. I wasn't too sure exactly where I was going to put this figure in relation to whether it was going to go into my masterpiece or was it going to go into oh yes, forgot to put his landing gear away. And there we go, because he does have landing gear there as well. It does sort of move. You can position wherever you like. I just like leaving it there. And this rotates around. This is going to become his gun. Like so. I think it comes around like that, does it? Is that it? Yeah, I suppose so. Like that. And he can hold this in his hand. I'm not really overly keen on that, but I suppose it works. Like that. And then these guns, I do like leaving them up on his shoulders. Like this. I think that is probably one of the best looks, but he does have some holes here, you can pop them in there for like a classic G1 effect where he's got the, actually no they don't, I thought they did. Yes, they kind of do. It feels like I'm forcing them in, but they do sort of pop on there to give him that classic G1 where he's got those cannons on his arms. But I kind of do like them on his shoulders like this. I think that just gives him a great look. I did notice actually to give Swindle out of this group, I can't remember what his actually Warbotron name is. His like a G1 look of putting that cannon on his arm. You got to buy that weird little set with a weird little shockwave. I don't mind that, but I'm not paying £30 or whatever for that. Just to get a tiny little piece of plastic that you attach to his arm, just so you can put the cannon on his arm. What I was thinking of doing was taking a drill bit and just drilling a small hole there to fit it in. I don't know how good that would look yet. I haven't actually thought about doing it to be honest, but that is what I might do. But going back to this figure, I actually really like it. He's actually got like little manoeuvrable bits here on his waist, just so you can bring these legs right up if you wanted to, just to give him a good superposed look. I like that, because you don't usually find that on little figures. You usually find that like on big combining figures where they do that so much, not on really smaller figures. Oh, that's just popped off. That's always good of me, that is. There we go. Let's put that back on. There we go. And it does have a little bit of waist swivel. I do like it that you can open the canopy and see where the little guy would sit if you could be bothered. Overall, I like this figure. I like the Warbotron figures, actually. I like them a lot. They'll probably go into my masterpiece line. Like I said, I'm not totally sure. I think he's probably just a bit too big to go into the classics. Probably because obviously a deluxe figure comes up to about here on him. He was a basic figure, especially in G1. So I don't know. Probably. And he's more of a masterpiece figure. He's not exactly like a bit like the masterpiece figures where they actually take the actual original figure and make it transform like it did in G1, but albeit a bit better and whatever. He's actually a different looking helicopter and slightly different looking robot, because obviously he never had the canopy in his chest, for example. But I think he still fits the masterpiece line ever so well. Let me just grab a masterpiece figure. The one I've got here is, we've got a Sideswipe. This is a KO Sideswipe. As you can see, he's sort of like the right size. And then we've got a exhaust. And as you can see, so he does sort of fit the right scale for these figures. Yeah, so he'd probably fit into my masterpiece line if I ever get around to getting a shelf for these guys. That would be pretty cool. Right, so anyway, he does come with a few extra tiny little orange tabs. I cannot remember for the life of me what they're for. I think it's something to do, you can put the little swords. You can't take these rotor blades out, they're just pegged in to be swords. I'm not a big fan of all that, because if the original G1 toy had it, I would have thought that's fine, but he didn't. And I understand that they're just trying to take their own take and give them, an extra play value or posability value, whatever you want to call it. So I don't mind it, but I'm not personally bothered by it. So there we go. Anyway, right, so this has been Graham, the Collector 75. This review's gone on probably way longer than I actually thought it would, but I'm finally glad I just got it done. One final little thing, I do want to show you this. I do love the head. I think that's very G1-esque. I love that. Right, so anyway, I'll see you next time. I'll be back with another Transformers review soon. I'm going to do all the Warbotron figures at some point, including the Bruticus Gestalt, along with, like I say, Unique Toys Abominus and Fans Project Menasor and the Mastermind Creations Predacons. I'll probably just do the mix and match every now and again. And then at the end, when I finally get around to doing like the big guys, I do like a montage of all like big figures sort of like in the background. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know when that'll be. Don't think I've got the room either. But there we go. Anyway, right, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.